Welcome to Emotions and Eating with Nicola-Beer. Nicola controlled her feelings using food for 25 years, so she knows how draining it is to be constantly thinking about or acting out with food. Thankfully, having made an amazing breakthrough in her recovery, her mission became about helping others escape the unsatisfying cycle of frustration and self-medication with food. Nicola is determined to help you find your inner strength so you can be healthy, gain confidence, feel great, and be at peace with yourself and food.
Hi there, I hope you're doing well today, wherever you are. I have lots of listeners from all over the world saying that they are really enjoying the show, so thank you so much for your feedback and thank you for all the shares. I've been hearing from people that they've been sharing it, that they've been rating, they've been reviewing it, which all helps the show to stay more visible, so it's greatly appreciated. Today's topic is about the subconscious mind because I found in my journey to freedom that utilising the power of the subconscious mind was actually the key to setting me free. It wasn't the only key, but it was definitely one of the major keys in freedom from emotional eating, compulsive eating, bulimia, and in the days when I used to starve myself, kind of like the anorexia mindset. I have a question for you. Do you feel like you are bombarded all the time with things to remind you about food, diet and your body? Whether it's food adverts, diet plans, detoxes or the ideal body shape. We are literally bombarded with products and plans that we're told we should follow to feel good. And it never seems to stop. The obsession on a daily basis wears us down and also makes it seem like it's more of a tool to manipulate our body, that is. Rather than seeing our body as a vehicle that holds our heart, our brain, our being, our spirit, our love, we see the body as something to control, to push around, to dictate how we want it to look in every moment. And sometimes we don't. Sometimes we use the body just to get through life and we don't give it much respect, much care, much love and attention at all. There is always a constant flow of information about food and weight loss plans, and they all conflict with each other. One minute we hear more protein, then we hear only your body needs a small amount of protein, then we hear eggs are good, eggs are bad, milk is good, milk is bad, salmon and tuna are super healthy, no they contain mercury, don't eat fat, eat a high fat diet. Everywhere you look, there is the perfect new plan to solve all your problems, to make you happy, to make you slim, trim, looking and feeling great. And of course, the diet industry thrives off this concept whereby you are only going to achieve happiness when you reach that perfect weight. You can't be happy unless you are a certain weight, a certain size, and it's almost like what they are trying to say is that happiness equals controlling what we put in our mouths all of the time. And until we reach an acceptable, by the media standards, acceptable size, we're not going to be happy. And I've really had enough of this garbage. I don't know about you. It may help magazines, clothes and diet products sell. I like to look good. I like to take care of my appearance. I like to feel good in my skin, of course. But I'm not going to be obsessed about it anymore. I'm not going to allow it to consume my thinking because it causes damages to ourselves. And then sometimes people go the other extreme and they couldn't care less. And they just eat and eat and eat and they don't care about what they look like. And they lose all pride in themselves and they lose love for themselves and they lose respect for themselves. So the thing is about we have to be kind to ourselves. And also I find, having helped lots of men and women with this, is that even if they are the perfect size according to magazines, it doesn't even make them happy. Many women I've helped break free from anorexia and bulimia will share with me that they feel miserable, and despite being slim, they still worry about food in their weight. In fact, I've learned that helping countless men and women now, being thinner does not take away the mental mind games about food or the compulsion to not eat, or be sick, or overeat. And it certainly does not make all life's problems disappear. The reason that healthy eating, weight gain plans or diet plans and detoxes didn't work for me long term was because I was an emotional eater. I ate or starved myself when I felt bored, lonely, confused, angry, rejected. I also ate when I wanted to celebrate something, to give myself a reward for working hard. More often than not, I overate because when I started, I could not stop. So if you're an emotional eater or someone who purges, the plans that purely focus on food will not serve you, because the excess weight or underweight you are dealing with is driven by your feelings, and your behaviour is driven by your subconscious mind. Scientists and neurologists have known this for a long time, that most of our behaviour is driven by our subconscious mind. You know, the part of you that is responsible for breathing, that makes your heart beat, your eyes gleam and your hair shine effortlessly. It also drives your food behaviour, and most food plans only deal with the conscious mind. Eat this, then you will feel this. Exercise with this amount at this time, failing to address the behavioural patterns that occur almost automatically, as well as how to deal with the emotional triggers. Am I making sense? I've shared quite a bit about my journey and how I turn things around, and I still think that you can do the same. I know, working with countless men and women now, that nobody is a lost cause or destined to live caught in the food thoughts forever. During my healing, I discovered that hypnosis and guided meditations were one of the best ways around the world to reprogram your behaviour and thinking around food. Because according to experts, 85% to 90% of our behaviour is driven by our subconscious mind. Amazing, isn't it? 80 to 90% of our behaviour, of your behaviour, of my behaviour, is driven by our subconscious mind. That is the part of the mind that isn't consciously thinking. The conscious mind is the mind that is listening right now. The subconscious mind is the mind that is interpreting, that is analysing, that is motivating you to listen. So I have a lot of love and respect for our subconscious mind. In fact, it can be our greatest asset if we guide it and tell it what we want it to do. And the thing to remember is that everything is learned, and everything can be unlearned. How you eat is a learned behaviour. How you don't eat, if that's your pattern, is a learned behaviour. If you're bulimic, that's a learned behaviour. And so all of it can be changed. Most of our behaviour is driven by our subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind is amazing. It's responsible for our breathing. It makes our heart beat, our eyes gleam, our hair shine effortlessly. So when sometimes people say to me, oh, I don't want to do work with the subconscious mind, or I don't trust the subconscious mind, I'm amazed, because actually the subconscious mind is allowing us to live. And most food plans only deal with the conscious mind. Follow this plan. Think about this. Think about that. And really, we need to look at the triggers and the behaviours behind it. Does that make sense? I hope so. I've shared quite a bit about my journey so far and how I've turned things around. And I think that you can do the same. In fact, I know that if you're motivated and you have a longing to change whatever relationship you have with food, or whatever relationship you have with your body, you can get there. Because awareness is the first key. And that's all you need. Awareness and willingness to allow yourself to go through the steps to reprogram and relearn new behaviours. I've worked with countless men and women now, and I've realised that nobody is a lost cause. Not that I thought they would be a lost cause anyway. However, a lot of the people that speak to me, they do. They say, I don't think you can help me. I've been obese for 20 years. Or I don't think you can help me. I've been bulimic for 38 years. Or I don't think you can help me. I've been underweight all my life. And the key question is, do you want to be helped? That is it. Do you want to manage your emotions, change your life, and live in a different way, and eat in a different way? The programs that I run do actually change a lot more than the eating behaviour. They get people clear on what makes them happy, what they want from life. They get them to love themselves, which changes every single area of their life, their finances, their career, their relationships. It's amazing. But it all starts with that decision, that willingness. Do you want to change? And if you don't want to change, then of course, that's fine. But when you're ready, you can take action. I knew that I had to refocus my thoughts to love, and I honestly thought it would be really difficult. That was until I discovered the power of hypnosis and guided meditations to transform your subconscious mind. Because what it can do is it can tell your mind something again and again and again so that you feel different and you act differently. There's nothing scary about it. It's you decide what you would like your unconscious mind to believe and to know, and then through repetition it takes it on board and starts to create your life and your actions and your behaviours around that belief. I created so many audios to help shift my energy from fear to love. As I mentioned to you, I had so much fear and I had a few resentments as well, and I didn't know if it would really work at first, but I thought, you know what, it's worth giving it a try. If all I have to do is listen to Hypnotherapy Track every day for a couple of weeks, it's worth doing. And it was just amazing. It changed my life in so many ways, over so many different things. I've used the power of my subconscious mind and hypnotherapy meditation tracks to change and break a habit of smoking, to have deep night's sleep, and I help people now all the time to get a great night's sleep, whether you're a person who can't get off to sleep, or you're a person that can easily get off to sleep but then you wake up after only a few hours and stay awake. I've got hypnotherapy tracks that I created for that, because that's what I had done on me, and it really helped me. It also helped me to get over my fear of public speaking. It may not seem like it now, but actually I had a huge fear of public speaking. And every New Year's resolution for about 3 or 4 years, my New Year's resolution was, must get over fear of public speaking. And I couldn't do it. And the year would go by and I'd be like, right, this year. And the reason it was so difficult was because when I used to think about standing up in front of crowds, or when I would stand up in front of a crowd, I would start shaking. My legs would start shaking, my face would go red, I'd forget what I was saying, and I had so much fear about it. And then I started getting invited to do all these talks on self-love and all different kinds of things, relationship support, eating support. I thought, wow, I really need to step up and get over this fear. And yet I was petrified, and I booked all these events, and then my mind just kept telling me, cancel them. Just tell them you can't do it. Find someone to replace you. You're not ready yet. This is the power sometimes of that fearful voice. It just wants us to keep small because it's safer. Sometimes that voice won't want you to get help with your eating, because it will say, no, stay the same. You're okay. You don't need to change. I hope I'm making sense here, going off on a little bit of a tangent here, but this was really what was happening for me with my public speaking. And then I got hypnosis and a meditation track to change my feelings and thoughts about public speaking. So I listened to a track for 3 weeks that told me, you are a wonderful, calm and confident speaker. You are a wonderful, calm and confident speaker. So I listened to that, and literally only after listening to it 5 days in, I felt, yeah, I'm okay. And I felt stronger and stronger and stronger. And if it works for smoking and sleeping and public speaking, I wondered, would it work for eating? Would I be able to use this to break free from my late night eating binges, to break free from when I start eating not being able to stop eating, to break free from the urge to when I overeat in my head, when maybe I haven't really eaten that much sometimes, but sometimes I did, to be sick? Could it work? So I started trying all kinds of different meditations. I started creating all different ones. I created ones for binge eating, for late night eating, for sugar cravings, for chocolate cravings, for pizza addiction, cheese addiction, you name it. I created them all, and I tested them all, and I gave them to some of the people that I was working with, and it